Why, hello. We have returned once more for the last hour. Blades in the dark. Firebirds.
So you
Caw.
all, that's the cry of the Firebird. They are named in an impressive way to make up for the fact that they sound
You
All
don't
right.
know me.
So we have 1 hour left. We can set up for our next job, maybe.
yeah, and you have something in mind you want to do.
I have something wonderful in mind.
Well, I mean, Thorn is always thinking about these next pieces that she needs to find of the thing, the
I
artifact thing.
I don't know if she wants to make that publicly known.
I mean, you know who has one of them.
I think you vastly underestimate Thorn's ability to read a crowd, like, or sorry, vastly overestimate Thorn's ability to
Yeah,
read a
her
Does
crowd.
inability to read a crowd.
Yeah.
does Thorn suggest we help the Circle of Flame and like a scratch our back? Hey, maybe the Circle of Flame can help get us some access to Narcus Pritchard.
Probably.
They are a secret society with lots of well-connected members. One of whom is a good friend of Rubik's, which no one here knows except Rubik's, which I
Yeah.
Yeah,
love.
that's true. Yeah.
Thorn is full of questions for Rubik's about that job.
So I mean, just thematically,
Full of
how about
questions.
that? Seems like a good idea if we try and leverage, like, the Circle of Flame to get info, or possibly, because we don't know a lot about Narcus Pritchard. But then
There-
that'll.
There's someone Rubik's has been like mostly avoiding.
There are a couple people you've been mostly avoiding.
So it's one of those things where Thorn is like,
I.e.,
So-
the cast of the NPCs.
so who did you give it to? Who got the thing in the end? Who took the heart? The thing.
Yeah, who'd you give it to,
Who did you
Rubik's?
give it to?
Why
Where,
doesn't
where did we get the
matter.
money? Because that person owes us a great deal, and that means that they'll help us do other stuff, and we need to do other stuff so they can help us do that other stuff.
Let's just say after this job, we're even.
Oh, important question. Do you still have that painting and is it
No,
in the internet somewhere?
No, it's like it's
It's in quarantine?
yeah, it's in quarantine.
Yes, thank you. You're the
Like-
best. Thank
But
you very
we
much.
got-
Like
Do the Bluecoats have it, or the Inspectors? Because it was in the lair, wasn't it?
The Spirit Wardens have it.
The Spirit Wardens.
Because they got to take the lair.
So, but Rubik's, you don't understand. You don't understand, Rubik's. The thing you gave them is not worth the money that we got. It's really important. It's really important. And theoretically, just something I've been thinking about personally, in here.
get to the point.
There's lots of stuff people who want that stuff know about other stuff.
Does this have to do with Satara?
Uh,
Yes or no?
which part of this?
Is this conversation happening inside your bar, which is like empty all the time, by
Yes.
the way? So like it can be private and be happening in the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, and so like when you ask her like, is this about Satara? The door opens and there's like the little like bell on it rings, which is like
There's
an
like
old
one of those
ship-
moments where Thorn is just like,
So there's like the bong as it opens, and a very well kept Eruvian man walks through the door. Or no, sorry, he's a Dagger Islander,
Oh.
with a like
Oh.
closely cropped beard and a bit of a little bit of a twirl to his mustache. He's no Milosh, but he's got a bit of a.
Few are.
Milosh has the like huge.
Yeah, Milosh is like
Yeah.
out here,
Yeah.
like
And he's wearing he has like a purple velvet jacket on, like kind of like a suit jacket thing.
Yeah.
and he has like very small spectacles, little like pince-nez kind of spectacles.
Thorn's general approach when there are like quote unquote customers, like in here, because she's not cleaned up. She's never cleaned up, and when she has been cleaned up, because it has been attempted, I'm sure it doesn't last very long.
Yeah, it doesn't
know?
stick.
Yeah. So her general approach when there's customers is to just like
Yeah, like
just,
drift away.
yeah, just like go about her business, but like still listen.
Yeah, there's like a dark corner where you can lurk and still hear everything.
She like scrubs floors or something. Like
Yeah, totally. And yeah, Rubik's, you recognize this man as being Vey. Birch, you probably have seen Vey around as well.
Yeah.
He's like kind of a spirit warden, but he's not the kind that wears the mask.
Yeah.
Like in the like middle management zone. He's like
Oh, God.
rat with the spirit.
Yeah.
what a coincidence! Thorn's name is also Vey.
They.
And he's like looking at his pocket watch as he walks in, and he's like, "Oh, Birch, what a surprise!
Still
You said
running.
Rubik's, I see. Oh, how fascinating!" And he like puts his watch back in his pocket, and he's got like this very like smooth kind of southern, like
Accent.
more like a Caribbean
Carrot,
accent.
yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
The
Still-
southern hemisphere.
Still padding your paycheck with that Spirit Essence gig.
Birch, why do you have to be like this with me? I'm being perfectly friendly with you. And like, yeah, he just like doesn't answer your question.
it's yeah, I didn't intend him to. Let's get the digs in.
What can we do for you?
Oh, it talks. Do you know that it talks, Rubik's?
Unfortunately and incessantly at times, but yes, she talks.
And yeah, he like pulls out a cigarette and like lights it. All of his stuff is like quite nice. Like he has a
Yeah,
nice
it's like high class. Yeah.
and his hair is like oiled and pulled back. He's got like
So,
long
so
hair.
like as he goes to light it, Burgess just goes, "No smoking in here."
He like doesn't even blink, he still lights it and starts smoking. So it's been a while, Rubik's. It's nice that I ran into you here. Surprising, but pleasant surprise.
I'm sure it is. So
You know,
remember, like the entire time, like a mirror is on.
Yeah. Anytime you want to ask if he's lying, you just ask him.
Thorn again just sort of repeats in exactly the same tone as if it were like a recording played back. What can we do for you?
Look, you're gonna have to get her away from me while we're having this conversation.
Wait, you don't want
Turning
to,
my stomach.
you don't want to
Thorn.
Anything you can say to Rubik's, you can say to us.
And yeah, he like turns to you, Rubik's, and gives you this look of like, these people, they're talking at me. It's just, like he's clearly kind of bothered, like put out by it. And he's like, whatever.
I love
It is
this
a
asshole.
private conversation, Birch. Sometimes I have matters that don't pertain to you.
Thorn
Not to
nods.
be offensive.
Thorn nods, realizing that she also has private matters that has nothing to do with you, and like turns and sort of like hunchedly scurries away.
And yeah, like to the two of you as you're leaving, he's like, yes, Rubik's doesn't want you to know that he owes me something. And that I'm here to collect. It's embarrassing to him to be in this position. And he turns back to you, Rubik's, isn't it?
Birch, do you come in the same place that I go? Do you follow me?
I think. Yeah, I think I
Yeah?
do. Yeah.
Because it's one of those like, Birch, come. And like
Yeah.
head downstairs and just like sit cross-legged in the most flooded part of the cellar, and just like attuned to the ghost field, down there. And just try
So
and
you can,
listen.
like, listen in.
I'm just trying to listen to Rubik's brain.
Yeah, well, you can just do that for free. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
That's
That's a trap I don't want to get in. I just like clutch my spirit charm.
and he they like pats his brow with a handkerchief and then puts it back in his jacket and is like sitting there smoking.
So are you going to continue to be disrespectful? Or are you going to sit?
Talk to me about disrespectful, and he sits down in front of you. It's been months. It's been months, Rubik, since I've spoken with you. We used to be so close.
Yes, and then things became hectic.
Yes, well, professionalism demands that you not forget about me, even in these trying times. That our arrangement, the services rendered, be repaid, remuneration. I certainly haven't forgotten. The hole in my pocket is still there.
Get on with it, Vay.
Well, as it happens, I find myself in a position to help you again. And he has this like paper wrapped package. Looks like it could be like a book or some documents or something. And he puts it down on the bar and just like tears the paper off of it, and it's the portrait of you.
Oh,
What
wonderful.
should come through my office but this? At first, I thought I might give it to Raffaello, but he didn't sign this one. And he like kind of wiggles his butt into his chair a little bit. So excited with himself, and he's just like, he never signs the ones if he doesn't want to keep. So this was a gift for you, obviously. He's a brilliant artist. His work, it's incredible.
Go on.
Well,
You know I dislike this prattle.
you really are no fun. Look, you are very popular in the circles I run in. All the wrong ones for someone in your business. I'm here to give you a little heads up that this face right here is too well known. The inspectors, spirit wardens, they're all out for you.
I'm working on it.
And finding myself in a position where this face has a debt associated with it. It tempts a man, Rubik's. It tempts a man to do things. Mend this hole in my pocket. I might find myself talking to the wrong people. And he like blows smoke in your face.
Like,
Asshole. I love him.
Yeah, I love him too.
I feel like Milos is like cleaning a glass, and at that he just like stops. Like everything just stops in the bar.
I'm listening to your brain. What does it sound like?
Not pleasant thoughts. There's a lot of anger in there. There's like a lot of rapid images that you get to see of plans that he wants to do to this guy. And
Yeah,
like you're
kill him.
seeing Rubik's thought process and like, how do I deal with this? Do I break his neck? Like it's the Sherlock Holmes types
Out loud. If Birch is still within like, hearing distance, Thorn is just muttering like, "He's mad. He's really mad. He's gonna be really mad." Just like over and over again.
And yeah, there's like this pregnant pause, and then Vay says, "Now, I'm not a stupid man. Everyone knows that I've gone out. Certain people know who I'm talking to right now. And if I don't come back, it's a problem for you. So don't try anything silly. Professionalism is what I am here about.
Yes.
Yours and mine."
Again, you go on with your prattle. What is the job?
Well, I know through a friend of a friend that you recently acquired something for Raffaello. I have to ask myself, Are the two of you friends? More than friends, maybe. Doesn't paint for just anyone.
Our friendship, our relationship is of little matter to you, Vay.
Just business then.
As far as you're concerned.
Well, it just so happens that what he's seeking, many others are seeking as well. And I represent a certain someone who really must insist that it be theirs.
And who
It's
is
a
this
matter of
person?
what you got for him for another day. There is another piece. We want that piece. You do this for me and for my employer. Maybe I forget all about this trifling matter of a favor I did for you with no favor in return. This we can forget about.
And who is your employer?
Don't be silly. And he like puts out his cigarette because he's finished it.
Yeah.
You and I both know that can't happen.
I think it can.
And he like mops his brow again with his little handkerchief, puts it away.
Because there are certain people I don't want to associate with.
Well, unfortunately, you've made the mistake of associating with me, which ties you up in all manner of complications. You either do the job or you don't. Who you do it for doesn't matter. Do it for me, Rubix. Your good friend Vay, who has always looked out for you. Always
Shut
helped you.
up. I'll do the job. But if I ever see your face again, just once, I'll owe you another debt.
And so he like pulls the painting back across the table and he's like, well, I see your face every day, and like closes the paper around it. And underneath the painting, there was this letter that is now just on your table or whatever, your bar. And he starts walking out. He's just like, goodbye, Rubix. And then he like stops at the door and he turns back and he's like, tell your little witch friend not to listen to my conversations. And then like leaves.
And like the moment he says that, it's like inner monologue. It just goes, get out now.
Yes, that's me. You might be wondering how I got in this situation.
Yeah, Thorn, you wouldn't notice any different, but Thorn isn't listening anymore. She comes back up the stairs and she goes, so what are we doing, man?
A job
What
to
job?
settle.
Good. We could use some cash.
Well, we'll find out if this is a lucrative job or another arm pulling job.
I know some jobs that would be lucrative. Some things.
Thorn, I'm already in a foul mood.
But
And he like opens the letter to read what the job is.
Yeah, so it's like another job about like retrieving a thing, but this one has just been like stuck in some warehouse in the docks due to all the strikes and everything else.
Yeah.
And so the warehouse that it's in is like has been claimed by the people or whatever, and they are in the process of like redistributing the wealth, which basically means that they are like selling it to fund their war chest to continue their like, you know, budding rebellion.
as you do.
Yeah, as you do. And so yeah, it's this like big warehouse with lots of different people's stuff in it, and it just so happens that this friend of Vay's shipment was in there and had this thing in it. And so they want you to go in there and clear the place out of these insurrectionists who have captured it. They want you to, like rough those people up, take the stuff, and then your payment is that they are willing to give you like the rest of the shit in the warehouse, basically.
Okay.
And if you do this, I will get rid of this little favors for Vay clock that has been sitting around for months.
Yeah.
Months of you doing nothing about it. And maybe even he'll pull some strings with the spirit wardens and you won't have them breathing down your neck.
Oh no. I want them around still.
They make me feel safe.
I mean, yeah, you're kind of worried about certain elements, I suppose, inside the crew, but we'll the spirit wardens will leave that to their internal justice system, whatever that looks like. But yeah, that's the job. I mean, you can not take it, and then you just have to deal with Vay's reprisal.
No, we're gonna do it. It has some benefits.
I would like. No, I can't do that. Never mind.
What would you like?
I was gonna say I would like to check out this warehouse and see if there's anything that I want in there.
I mean, you can spend coin to get extra downtime
I don't
action.
have any coins.
Right.
I don't have any coins.
The crew has coin, doesn't it?
Don't. Crew fund. No.
And the crew has rep. The crew always has rep. You can just spend that. Call in some favors.
Spend our rep. Just spend our rep entirely. Just drain it all.
That's what it's there for.
I don't have
That's
any
the whole
coin.
reason.
I don't have any coin left.
Find it on the job then.
Yeah. That's my plan.
The stuff you want, not the coin.
I'm just gonna spend like way too much time looking at stuff in the warehouse when I should be helping. That's what I'm gonna do.
It's fine.
Okay, so I guess we're
See,
gonna.
the trick with Thorn is you gotta give her something, right? She's gonna get desperate.
Oh, I'll give her.
He's
something.
always desperate.
I'm gonna give her something.
It's not very nice. She's gonna get eaten by a demon.
Well, we'll prevent that if she stops being so crazy about the demon.
The really sad thing is she'd probably just accept her fate if that happened.
Yeah, she'd be stoked. I mean, just like any member of your cult would be, right?
Mm-hmm. So sounds like an assault.
Yeah, an assault on the warehouse. To seize the warehouse.
Yep.
Does anyone want to spend any crew coin to go do some preparatory stuff? Or do you just want to go in cold?
I mean, I can spend the crew coin because I've been paying out of my own pocket to do this forever now.
Fine by me.
If you guys are cool with doing a consort roll for that.
Sure.
Okay. So we'll do that. Hopefully I don't roll 4 once this time. That would be appreciated.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt you to roll 4 ones. And so this is like you're starting to develop a contact network like on the docks themselves with some of the like collectivists and other whatnot, I'm imagining.
Yeah,
And so this is Rubik's like talking to those people and seeing what's up.
essentially. And talking to some of the shadier folk around and
Cool. And what kind of information do you want?
okay. How many questions do I get?
Oh, let's give you 2 questions.
Okay. What should I look out for?
So, okay, here's what you need to look out for. And this is a character who has been seen very briefly, and Thorn knows about them. But everyone's talking about this person named Drav, D-R-A-V.
Okay.
And they are this young Eruvian like there's all kinds of stories about like where they came from. They're like an orphan who murdered people when they were like 6 years old or some shit. They have this like very scary rep. But the stuff that actually rings true to you is that they are like the militant arm of this like movement, and that they're in charge. Um, Thorn had a vision of them, and they had like an army of corpses behind them.
Oh yeah.
They had killed so many people, and they were a huge badass. Yeah, so it's that person that they have organized this like takeover of this particular warehouse. And so if they're actually around, it seems like that'd be real bad, because if this person themselves is a badass, but then also they would have people with them because they are important to the cause. So they always have a posse with them. So you would want to get in there while they're not around.
Okay.
And there are some, they're busy, they're doing other stuff. You just have to.
I could use some crew coins to set something up. I could probably flashback that actually.
Rubik's gets another question too before we move on to something else. So.
Well, I guess I know about that militant arm now. How do we get them to leave?
Yeah, how would you get them to go somewhere else or do something else?
Yeah.
Let's see here. So let's go to the map as well, because I want to visualize this.
Clarification: Drow leads a militant arm of the collectivists.
Yes.
Okay.
The revolution. Yeah, they're like the main person.
The glorious revolution.
They're not much of a thinker, but they're definitely like loyal to the cause. So it's this warehouse right here,
Okay.
which is owned by the North Hook Company, which is like a big shipping concern. And they used to own this whole quarter, but they've been like dealing with all kinds of problems since the trouble started down at the docks. So this whole area in red over here, bad times. And our target is in this warehouse. What was your other question?
How do we get them to leave?
How do we get them to leave? Right. I think, yeah, so here's the thing. You hear about, in the course of this, talking to some of your like revolutionary people contacts, because you're in the right place for it, being in Ink Lane. There's lots of organizing and stuff happening there. There are rumors that Drav is going to be running a job, like you get some different dates and stuff about it, but basically that they're going to be carrying out like full on, because they run the streets. They don't necessarily hold all these buildings in this area, but they're actually going to like try to take on the North Hook Manor, which is where that little arrow points to. And this is like a long established like HQ of this company, and it's this like big manor house that it operates out of. And he this friend of yours has heard that like they're gonna go like steal all their money or something. They're gonna like raid that place and steal the coffers.
Okay.
And so, and like as part of this, there's also all this talk about there being like a big kind of flash mob like riot that night as well.
Okay.
And you get that extra little bit that it's because Drav wants to do this other thing, that they're organizing this big uprising for that day. There's going to be lots of chaos, and that would be like a good time for you to run at this building, because people will be busy doing other shit, and there will be lots of cover. It could keep the heat off you almost entirely, right? Like if there's all this other stuff happening, no one's really going to notice
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Perfect. So, I mean, besides that, we got the engagement roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an idea,
what's
but
going
I
on?
think I can flashback it rather than like use preparation for it
Yeah.
if it becomes relevant.
Okay. So,
Hit it up.
let us know.
So what, with an assault, you need to declare your point of entry.
Back door, I'd imagine.
Like not the loading bay, but like the warehouse door.
Yeah. Like, let's not take the entrance that leads to the main street right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Let's-
not this.
Yeah,
So
so
maybe coming in from the backside, like by the
Mhm.
water.
yeah.
Cool. Are you guys like going along in a boat and then coming up the backside of this warehouse?
Yeah, like I imagine it be a couple of boats, like us and the cohorts, because we need sticky fingers to get things out, and
Am
we
I
need,
am I bringing my people?
and we need creepy people to get shot.
You can
Aw.
bring your cult along. You have to find a way to like justify this in terms of like
Then I don't care.
or
enough.
Satara. Like this is on Thorn.
No, this is on me. This has nothing to do
Yeah.
with you. You're just like, give me people. And I go, that warehouse might have things that we need in it, you know? Like the thing that I had to give up last time because I really wanted it, but I couldn't. But there might be more of that. We have to go there. We have to look it all over. You have to make sure that there's nothing that Satara wants that we can't give to her.
I assume I don't hear a word of this.
No, this is just me talking to
course.
them like in private in the cellar sometime.
Yeah, and like
Although you definitely, I think you definitely get like the echo vibes of like Thorn's voice sometimes, just like from the
She's still doing
yeah.
it.
ominous things. Yeah. Yeah, Caro and Morlin are both just like, yes, we can let the others know. We'll bring them. On that night, yes, of course. And like they aren't like as like bow and scrape as you, and like it's less of a hierarchical thing.
The thing with Thorn
You're-
is
you're, like, the most equal of them.
her like bow and scrape is like to anyone, you know? It's
Yeah,
just like
totally.
her natural first reaction is to like lower her head and like put her hands up, you know? Like,
So yeah, they don't necessarily like look to you as a leader, but just that like they
I have
understand-
spoken directly to Satara several times.
Yeah, you're like the utmost peer within the group.
Yeah.
Or in Brix's case, you're that hot Ikarosi lady that he wants to get with.
That's why I joined the cult. It's like-
I mean, he's also all about Satara, but you know.
Yeah, I just can't imagine Thorn being
you're his
anyone's.
silver medal.
I just can't imagine Thorn being anyone's hot anything. It's just really funny to me.
Got that wastrel bod.
Yeah,
that you know about.
that wastrel bod.
So let's roll this and then cry about it for a week.
Okay, let's
Yep,
go.
let's
Yeah.
do that.
Totally. Cool. So you're gonna
Okay.
come up on boats and get into the warehouse from this side, which hopefully will be really quiet because all the rioting and shit is happening,
Away from us.
you know, more towards the
Yeah.
Northwood Company's HQ. So this
Yeah.
is a good approach. Takes advantage of all the stuff we've talked about. So 1 for luck. It's an
Okay.
assault, so you get an extra 1.
Cool.
You're taking advantage of information that you had previously about
Cool.
this being like a good time to come in, so I'll give you an extra die for that. I feel like this place is still like pretty well guarded and stuff, so
Yeah.
you're gonna lose a die for that, but you get a 2 die engagement,
3 die.
3 die engagement. Yeah, there you go.
Cool. Yeah, 6.
Cool. So it's gonna go according to plan. You're gonna be able to like get in via this place.
Let a bunch of cultists into our warehouse.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, there is going to be a fight, but it's going to start in an advantageous way for you guys. It's not going to be all of them at once coming.
We're
to a
gonna
position.
get the drop on them rather than the other way around.
Yeah. So it'll be good. And I
Cool.
guess it will happen next week.
Yeah, we'll call that next week's like starting action. But for now, let's do some shout outs for
XP.
everybody. And
XP.
XP
Let's
first.
do
Yeah.
XP first. Yeah.
XP first. You're right.
Let's
Right,
start
I
with the
jumped the
crew.
gun.
Okay.
So, execute a successful battle, extortion, sabotage, or smash and grab.
Sure
Yes.
did.
So you did 1. Contend with challenges above your current station.
I don't think we really did that.
So yeah, the Foghounds, who were the people
Tier
that you
one.
were fighting, were all
Equal to us.
equal tier with you, so which is unusual.
Right.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
Yeah, we became charitable to the people of Crowsfoot.
Yeah, I feel like that's a fair.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, that's more personal to Rubik's. I would argue that that's more like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
XP
That's
for the
fair.
crew.
Professional, daring, and ambitious, all of those still apply to that tower. Like, daring for sure.
Yeah, there was definitely
Um,
some daring do, so
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature. I can't see you not getting 2 for this because
Yes.
all kinds of great stuff.
Every
Always.
time-
So we're
every
one
time, yeah.
one shy of another advance. So
Lovely, great work, everyone.
Cool beans. Who's next?
Let's start with Birch
Birch.
because
Yeah.
Sean is the furthest left on my array of people.
Yeah.
There you go.
You addressed a challenge with tracking or violence. I get 2 for that.
Yes, you do.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think I get 2 for that too.
Yeah, there was lots of like spirit warden-y stuff coming up, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. That I don't think I did.
What's your advice again? Like
My stupor, which is
Getting
like
punched.
yeah,
a violence stupor.
yeah, but
I
like
feel like any other character wouldn't have had the same struggle as you did with the heart thing making you be like ultra violent.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of was me picking on that.
okay, I'll
Or you-
take an
so-
XP for that. So
free.
Hey, I'll take it.
Bam.
XP. I know.
I mean, yeah, I'm offering you free stuff, so
oh, I'll say, yeah, 5 for me. I'm good. Thank you.
cool. Do not say I'm not generous. Thorn.
Yes. You address the challenge with knowledge or arcane power. I attuned sonared the shit out of that first thing.
Hmm.
And I think that's kind of it, really, this time around. So probably 1 there. You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background, like always.
Yep.
Um,
I would vote for 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
you
Issues from your vice, or
vice
trauma.
I mean, I
Yeah.
got a demon deal because I had to from my
Yeah,
vice.
and also that you like couldn't bring yourself to say no. Like as
Yeah.
soon as I was like, "It's Satara," I could see that you were just like, "Yeah, okay, I do whatever she says."
Whatever it is.
Great.
Cool.
Rubik's.
Yeah. So you address a challenge with preparation or calculation. I feel like he did that
Yeah.
multiple times.
Rubik's is just secretly a cutter, though. Let's be real.
Yeah, let's be. There are some times where it's just like he hasn't had to be subtle too often. Usually, being overly violent works with people.
He's prepared to be violent. He has
Yeah.
calculated the amount of violence he needs to bring. You know.
Yeah, it's how badly do I psychologically screw with my enemies? What's their breaking point?
I would argue also that your whole like bribing the people thing was pretty calculating in a way, too, right? It's
Well-
just like, you know what really will help me in the future is if people like me and I am well regarded.
Yeah.
And I'm seen as upholding all these things. So whatever his motivation was,
Yep.
there's certainly an option for that to be going on.
Okay.
And on more of like a crew level, that was very like calculating in my mind. But I have a different read on Rubik's motivations. But anyways, express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes. The entire downtime thing was
Your
about
whole, like-
him like it was just all about expressing his beliefs and his drives. And we dabbled a little in the background.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of honor among the criminal underbelly is a background thing for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And struggling with the issues from your vice or traumas.
I mean, he always has the obsession thing. Whereas, like, I'm not going to let my gang go into the darkness
Yeah, I mean,
This
you
is
grabbed
fine.
Narcus's head and like slammed it into a table.
Yeah, and paranoid is always in there too because you just like you anytime any of your crew members are like, I have an idea, you're like, but do you though? Is it the right idea? How are you fucking know?
What is it? Kill me? Oh, I see.
Thorn's like, I have an idea. You're like, shut up.
You've gotten to the point where like it's so ingrained in how Rubik's acts that you just like play that without really like making a big deal of playing it, but it's I see it there. So
Oh, okay. I mean, if you see it, I'll take it. Cool.
great. My name is Andrew, and you can follow me on Twitter at Commuting Crow. You can find all of my internets by way of my Twitter profile. I have a list of links. I do this show on Mondays that you're watching now, and I do 2 shows with Roll20 on Thursdays and Fridays, and I'm also doing a Misclicks Apocalypse World on Thursday evenings. So you can check all of that out. I am also developing a hack of this game called Girl by Moonlight, or at least that's my working title, which is a magical girl anime hack of Blades in the Dark.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
Catalyst.
Cool. I'm Catalyst7. You can find me on Twitter at Catalyst7. You can find me here on Mondays at 7 o'clock my time, Mountain Time. Yeah, that one.
The best time.
Exactly. The only one that can't. I mean, what?
It's really not.
Besides that, on Twitter, you can follow me there. I chit chat about LARP stuff and just general life stuff, really.
Catalyst rambles.
I'm interesting, I promise.
Hyena.
Hi, I'm Sean. You can find me on Twitter at Hyena Spots if you want an ass kicking. So you can find me Hyena Spots with a Z. I'm here Mondays, and yeah, I chat about life stuff, Arkham Horror, the living card game, and RPG crap. So yeah, find me.
And I'm Distracted Elf. Watch this stream you're watching right now, To Be Dragged into the Depths by Satara
Forever.
screaming. Swallowed whole by a giant leviathan, never to return. Cool. Later,
Sounds
everybody.
good.
Sounds lovely, yeah.
Good night.